Welcome back. Today we have Colorado's best attorney, Phil Harding, back in studio for the sponsored segment. Phil, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah, and Phil, today you're highlighting some questions and misconceptions that you get about what happens after a car accident, right?
I am. There's some questions that let's just kind of go over this to start off with. I hear all the time, people call up and they're like, what happens if the other side calls me up and wants a statement, right? You're in a car accident, hurt on the property of another. Don't, right? Your insurance company, you have a duty to cooperate with. The other side, don't talk to them. And don't trust me, trust the laws of the state of Colorado. They specifically say that if you have been injured, it is illegal for the other side even to attempt to get a statement within 15 days. And so let's just run through a scenario. Let's say you're in a car accident. Someone rear-ends you. The other side's insurance calls up and says, I'm so sorry about that. Hey, tell you what, we've accepted liability, which means we're at fault. Give me a statement, right? That sounds normal, doesn't it? And so here's the question that should be going through your mind. If they've already accepted liability, why do they need your statement, right?
True.
It's not like they need your insight to decode this thing, but here's the reason why. They want to lock you down, and they're going to call you in, let's say, 2 days after the accident, and they're going to say, how fast do you think the car was going? And you're like, the back of my car is crushed. It's like 20 or 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So cars have black boxes, just like airplanes. They're called EDRs, event data recorders, and they record an event 5 seconds before an event all the way up. They tell speed, when you step on a brake, did the airbags deploy, are seat belts engaged? And so you might have said, I think they were going 20 or 30. They pull the EDR and find out that they were only going 15, and then now they go, you exaggerate.
Wow.
Not going to pay you as much, right?
Yeah.
After the accident as well, they say, tell me about your pains. And you're like, my neck and my back. But really, once you start treating and those major pains go away, now it gets to lesser pains, like in your arms or legs. And then finally, they say, hey, send me your medical bills because we're going to pay it. Remember, the other side writes one check and only one check at the very end. So, I mean, that's the first thing. So let's go into the next question, right?
Yeah.
Who pays for the medical bills?
Good question.
Yep. And if you have health insurance, Medicaid or Medicare, I want you to use that. And don't send your medical bills to the other side. And here's the reason why. You know, if you have health insurance, Medicaid or Medicare, you see this all the time. It's called an EOB. Explanation of benefits. And so this is a real EOB from a real client, and this person went to Swedish. The billing was $29,000. Health insurance came back from my insurance, and my client's insurance said, there's a discounted rate. It's called normal and customary. So the amount that's covered by the plan is $8,500. So the hospital writes off $20,000. Now, if you would have sent this bill to the other side, they would say, okay, we'll pay you the $8,500. The other side, and here's some attorney words, collateral source doctrine. Because you've been paying for health insurance premiums, right? Not the bad guy that ran into you. They don't get to see the reduction. So if a collateral source, namely your health insurance, reduces a bill, the other side doesn't get to benefit. So instead of paying $8,500, they should have paid the $29,000. And that's why they want you to send the medical bills. So when you send the medical bills, you cover up or you redact all of this. So on that one mistake alone, on this car accident, one mistake alone, you've lost $21,000.
Wow.
Right? You get to do this on every other medical bill. You also get pain and suffering and so forth. So disfigurement. And then I think the last question that people say is, so if someone runs into me and they don't have insurance,
yeah, what happens then?
Yeah, am I out of luck? And so what you do is you look at stacking of insurance. Now, usually the owner of the car and the driver of the car are the same person. But if you loan your car, you've loaned your insurance. So if someone is driving someone else's car, right, his buddy's car, the owner of the car, that insurance comes first, and then the driver of the car. I know he's not in his car, his insurance comes next. Next, you have something on your insurance called uninsured, underinsured, which will cover someone. And then if you live with anyone, brother, sister, mom, dad, that has other cars that have uninsured, underinsured, you're what's known as a resident relative. So you can stack this. In this one scenario, there could be 4 levels of insurance that you continually stack on top of each other.
It's so nice seeing a visual representation of this, and just the way you break everything down, it makes it so easy to understand. Simple things, but making a huge difference, right?
Yep. Don't talk to the other side. Don't send them your medical bills. You know, they write one check and only one check at the very end. So if you're sending those medical bills, you also think that they're getting paid, but they're not. Then they go into collections. Another big red flag.
Absolutely. Phil, you're always breaking it down for us. This is why people need to call you. You know what you're doing. We've heard such good success from you. Thank you so much for coming, and we love having you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, to reach Harding & Associates directly, just give them a call, 303-762-9500, and you can get a free consultation anytime. You can find Phil online at hlaw.com. And thanks again to Phil for sponsoring this segment.